Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Sunday, October 23, 2022, and giving you our match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Washington Commanders vs Green Bay Packers. Sunday has all the makings of a great bounce-back game for Green Bay, and considering the questions on offense for Washington, this win should come with ease. The Packers have the ability to run the ball with ease in this one, and by controlling the clock, will be able to keep their league-leading defense rested and ready to find success. For Washington, being without Wentz is sure to come with some growing pains, while the additional absences on the defensive line will leave the Packers with plenty of time in the pocket to find success. Additionally, according to Covers.com, the Packers are 7-1 at TS in their last 8 games in Week 7, typically rounding into form as the mid-season mark approaches. Our team pick is Green Bay, -5. These teams have both been dreadful offensively. However, I think this will be more high-scoring than we expect. The Packers have a chip on their shoulder now. They could explode against this Commanders defense that hasn't been great this season. Aaron Rodgers needs a great game to get his team going after back-to-back losses. His backs have been running well, and I think they both will get plenty of action in this one. The Commanders have a new quarterback that I believe is better than the starter. This could jump-start the offense and get the ball into their elite playmakers' hands on the outside. The Commanders have a ton of talent on the offensive side of the football, they just need a quarterback that can get them the ball and stop taking so many sacks. Brian Robinson is getting more implemented by the week and had a touchdown last week. He'll see plenty of action against a Packers rush defense that allows 135 yards a game. Take the over 41.5 on this short number and watch these offenses finally put a decent game together. Las Vegas Raiders vs Houston Texans. Las Vegas is not without their challenges this week. Star tight end Darren Waller is out and WR Mac Hollins is questionable. But this is a game that absolutely have to win. They have lost a lot of close games to good teams, and this is not a good team, so there is no excuse to fall short this time, even with a depleted receiver core. Even with a depleted receiving core, they still have more weapons than the Texans. Houston is terrible against the run, ranked 30th in the NFL, so look for a lot of Josh Jacobs in this one. Take the Raiders giving up the points. Our team pick is Las Vegas -7 points. In 4 of the last 5 games between these teams the total has gone over, but I am bucking that trend going with the under. The Texans have a far from dynamic offense, and their strength on that side of the ball is the run game. However, they face a run defense for Vegas that ranks a more than respectable 6th in the league. Mills will have to carry the load for the offense, and he will not get it done, and the Raiders will keep the Texans to a low point total. Conversely, I look for the Raiders to score quite a few points. Still, they will run the ball early and often facing Houston's 30th ranked run defense, and that will eat up the clock. Vegas will have a solid scoring game while the Texans will not, and the latter is the main reason this game will go under. Take the under 45.5 points. Denver Broncos vs New York Jets. The New York Jets were expected to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, with a preseason over-under win total set at 5.5. Shockingly, the Jets have been closer to the class of the AFC than the bottom. New York won its 3rd straight game last Sunday against the Packers 27-10. Green Bay and New York both gained 278 total yards last week, but New York forced the only turnover of the game. The Jets' defense also picked up 4 sacks. The Jets' offense went just 1 for 11 on 3rd downs, but benefited from a 20-yard punt block for a touchdown. Russell Wilson, who agreed to a 5-year extension that could be worth up to $245 million, has not gotten off to a good start. Wilson is 26th in QBR and has completed 58.6% of his passes for 1,442 yards, with 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. As a team, Denver is 22nd in total offense, picking up 329.3 yards per game, but dead last scoring 152.2. The Broncos' defense is 4th in scoring, allowing 16.5 ppg, and 3rd in total defense, allowing 290.3 yards per contest. Enter Brett Rypien with Wilson out due to a hamstring injury. Ironically, his only other start came against the Jets in 2020, when he threw for 242 yards with 2 TDs and 3 picks in a Denver win. The Broncos got the best of the Jets last season, but I see revenge on the menu Sunday. This game will be tightly contested, but ultimately the difference will be the Jets' ability to convert in the red zone and Denver's deficiencies in the area. The Broncos are dead last in the NFL, scoring a touchdown on just 20% of their trips to the red zone, but the Jets are the 8th best in the NFL, scoring a touchdown on 63% of their red zone trips. The Jets have covered the spread in 5 of their last 6 road games, and Denver is just 3-11 at TS in its last 14 games against the AFC. There's a reason why Rypien is a backup quarterback. Although I'm concerned with the public bettors' love of the Jets, I can't get behind the Broncos here. I will back the Jets. Our team pick is New York Jets +1. The Jets will arrive in Denver as a slight road underdog, despite being the team with the better record. In fact, New York is the squad with all of the momentum after reeling off wins over the Pittsburgh Steelers, Miami Dolphins, and Green Bay Packers. It's the Zach Wilson effect, as the second-year darling of the Big Apple's eye is 3-0 since returning to the starting lineup. In all honesty, New York's defense and running game stole the show since the calendar turned to October. Denver, dead last in the NFL in points scored per game, is averaging 219.2 passing yards and 110.2 rushing yards per contest. Running back Melvin Gordon, 3.7 yards per carry average, will start against New York after he was benched in the second half of Mondays against the Chargers. Still, Latavius Murray, 15 carries for 66 yards against La, is also expected to touch the football. With lead rusher Javonte Williams out for the season, one of these backs must give Wilson a complementary running game for the offense to make strides. The over-under of 38 points is quite a low total for an NFL game, and yet, it's understandable why the odds makers arrived at that number. Neither offense is providing a lot of highlights so far this season, and both squads' defenses have been legit. With that said, there's a lot on the line for both teams in this game, with New York seeking national respect as a road underdog, despite owning the better record, and Denver seeking momentum to get back into the playoff hunt. I'm not keen on the under at 38, especially if either Wilson can air out the ball with more zip than they have so far this year. Finding a hole in either secondary could be tough, which is why the scrambling abilities of both QBs could come into play. The national perception is that Denver is incapable of scoring the ball, but that's not what they paid Wilson all that money for. New York would also be foolish to think it can roll into Denver against this defense, with a rookie running back and an inexperienced game manager at QB, and eke out a 17-14 win. One way or another, these passing offenses have to wake up. Why not this week? Take the over at 38 points.